Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words. What they mean.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you the second section to Interval 6 in my F.E.A.R 3 Insane Difficulty video walkthrough. And as soon as you start up in this lovely mechanized contraption, you've got to smack that wall down. So do that with the melee button. You can run in this mech, I think. But you never really need to, because for the majority of it you're going to be just running and gunning. And these enemies can kill you on Insane, they will do a lot of damage to you. But there is a button you can press, I can't quite remember it off the top of my head, which will put a shield up. And the shield will stop you from taking damage. Instead it will take damage from your shield. And it does regenerate, so if you just balance your shield usage with your, killing people and hiding and using cover and all that great stuff, you shouldn't have any problems with this section. And there's two things, there's two mechanics that break this level and break any kind of challenge that there could have been on this section. And that is the ability to get back in your machine if it doesn't die. Because what's going to happen is, as you just saw, there's going to be attack choppers that are going to sweep in and start kicking you in. And the health of my robot, if you're curious, is the green robot in the middle of the screen. And that bar that's going down is showing you how much life I've got. And obviously the lower your life is, the worse off it is for you. When it goes down to 0, it kicks you out of the machine. If you get out of the machine, like I have to do now, and you sit behind the machine, you will not get hurt, and it will eventually repair itself so you can get back in it and have full life again. So they have somehow turned the vehicle section into regenerative life section, where instead of hiding behind a rock waiting for the blood to fade away from your screen, you're now sitting behind a machine waiting for it to fix itself. And it completely removes any challenge that they could have mustered in this entire sequence. So for the rest of this video, it is going to be me exploiting the fact that I can just use the big old machine as cover from anything trying to kill me, wait for its life to come back, and then kill whatever killed me. And just repeat that. And there's a section where you're going to take on another robot that's just as fast and capable as you, and he's absolutely easy, because if he does blow you up, you just sit behind the fucking robot and wait for him, and wait for it to repair, then get back in it and kill him. And there's even a section where you take on 2 helicopters, and the first time I played this game, I didn't even get shot on that section when I got out of my machine, but on Insane I do get shot a little bit. But if you're clever and you can see where they are, you can just position yourself away from them, and you can use your slow motion so that you can get back into the machine quicker. And it's very simple. And what I do here is, because you're getting taken on by 2 robots at the same time, kind of like some kind of, industrial porno, I like to focus on whichever one's closest and shoot them as much as I can with the rockets. And as soon as you run out of rockets, put your shield on and use your Gatling gun. And then as soon as your rockets regenerate, you can then take your shield off and use your rockets, because you cannot use the rockets and the shield at the same time. It's just not possible. So that way you will balance regenerating rockets with dealing damage, because you're always dealing damage. When you're not shooting with your Gatling gun and regenerating rockets, you're firing the rockets you've just regenerated. And it's a lovely cycle of death dealing, and you shouldn't have too many problems here, because the AI is kind of dumb. And as you can see, that dude's already on fire and fading fast, and he's about to get blown up. His buddy's just turned up as well, and he's on fire. And I'm about to get kicked out of my robot, but guess what happens if I do? I sit behind it, I wait for it to recharge, and every single challenge that there could have been is thus neutralized, null and valid, nullified. It's just disgraceful. Watch this. How is this difficult? I'm even cheesing a robot through my robot's legs, and if that doesn't sound like some, 2111 porno, I don't know what is. But there you go, my machine's magically been repaired by those magic mechanics that just turn up out of thin air and fix your shit. And then you can carry on down this road and killing dudes and doing your F.E.A.R thing, because this is easy. This is about as easy as it gets. If you can't do this, you're probably going to have a lot of trouble in the next level, because that's actually a challenge. But just keep looking for whatever goes red and shoot it. I know it sounds cliche, but that's pretty much what this is. And if you want to know what a good mech level is, try playing F.E.A.R 2, because they have some fantastic mech levels. Those mech gunfights are fucking brilliant. You can't even say any otherwise. They're just really fun, really visceral, really aesthetically pleasing, and this is just brown, brown, brown. This is the visual equivalent of Quake 1. But you can use this train carriage here for cover against the robots. Just keep going back into cover when you don't have any rockets. Let them regenerate, pop back out, fire your rockets off. And you'll notice I always wait until it says lock on with my rockets, because you can miss. The rockets generally go very close if you don't have the full lock on, but I don't risk it purely because everything on Insane takes so much damage to die. It's always quicker to just, you know, do it by the books, take it as slowly and as steadily as you can. And when you move up this street, you're going to get to a section where there'll be a bus on your left. The bus on your left generally means you're going to get attacked by 2 helicopters, and the best way to stay alive in this section is to position your robot so that it's in the midway of the bus. And that way, if you get killed, when you get out of the robot, you'll have a bus covering your left flank and you'll have your robot covering your front. And that means that the helicopters will only be able to injure you from one side, and if you position yourself cleverly enough, they shouldn't be able to touch you, and it's very, very simple. But that's the bus directly in front of me that you can see midway down this path, and that's when the 2 helicopters are going to turn up and you have to kill them both. And I mean, this shit's dull to fucking commentate over. It's even duller to play. I can't imagine what it's like to watch. Goodness me, how did they think that this was a good idea? This is the equivalent of Wind Waker when they made you go and find the fucking pieces of the Master Sword. That wasn't cool. Oh gosh. But it is what it is. And if anybody's wondering why I'm putting up so many videos, purely because I have the time to do it, and this is what I would like to be all the time if possible, and if I could get some kind of sponsor / feature, that's exactly what it would become. But there is an ulterior motive to it as well. In about 3 weeks I'm going to France for 3 weeks, so my channel is going to be dead for, you know, 21 days. There's going to be no updates, or uploads should I say, sorry, for 21 days. I'm probably going to do a video before I go that explains it, and hopefully I'll have put up a significant amount of content to tide people over with. And if there's anybody that's like, oh no, I cannot have my fix of these videos, just look through my back catalogue. I do have nearly 500 videos now, and each and every one of them is pretty entertaining and pretty decent. Even the first ever commentary I did, where I sound a little bit like a sexual predator. But just keep using your rockets on these attack choppers, keep shooting them, and always remember to use your shield to stay alive a little longer if you're getting bombarded by missiles. And what's coming up here is, when you get to the end of this bridge, there's going to be a shootout with another one of the robots, and there's going to be a couple of enemies knocking about with rocket launchers and stuff like that. And when you kill them all, you'll move forward, and it's the end of the level. So I do apologise that this is not the most inspiring game's design or the most enjoyable thing to watch, but a guide's a guide, and I'll do it regardless. But I'm trying to think of the games that are coming out, because Earth Defense Force is coming out pretty soon. I'm pretty sure that Call of Juarez is coming out pretty soon, which I'm going to be doing a guide for, even though the game looks fucking horrific. And I'm so sad about that, because Call of Juarez 2 is one of the nicest looking first person shooters and one of the best western themed games I've ever played. I really enjoyed that game, and if I'd have had this channel earlier, that would have been a guide I would have done on very hard, because that was a fun and challenging game. But that new one, it just looks really rough. I don't want to compare it to Brink, because in my eyes Brink is like the fucking equivalent of Pearl Harbor. It is that bad, but it's pretty awful, dude. It's pretty fucking bad. But anyhow, once you've come here, you've got to run into this little hut. When you go inside here, when this door opens, it's going to spawn enemies, so be careful. You'll see them to the left, and they'll shoot you through the glass. I just use slow motion and start raping kids with the shotgun, because it's the best way to do it. And I don't know what the fuck I've got on TV here, but this looks like the most effeminate program I've ever watched. Oh, apparently it's called Speeders. And it is not as enjoyable as it sounds. Craziness. But there's a guy to my right here. Be careful of him. When you come up into this room, you have to press a button to lower the bridge. Then you can get back in your robot. Start doing some more, you know, machination destruction. But there you go. There's the bridge coming down. And there we are. Back into the robot. Should have probably saved this video for my news, but the only problem is I can't do it without being near my other computer, and I'm currently down in the conservatory, so my PC's upstairs, and the process that I use to lay the commentaries over is something called Adobe Premiere, and as soon as you click away from it, it stops whatever you're doing, so you can't even do dual screen on Windows 7 and continue it. It just kind of stops, which is a pain in the ass if you ask me, because I love to multitask, even though I am a man, and I know generally people are like, you know, men can't do it, they can't do this. Well, you know, some men can, and I can't do the most useful multitasking. It's got absolutely no economic value when it comes to home economics, but it's good for other things like picking my ass and belching at the same time. But this dude is pretty simple. It's just a case of using this van to fuck him, because he can deal more damage than you can, because you have less life than he does. But as soon as you start taking damage, just hide behind this. But be careful with this guy, because he will actually try and flank around you. He is not the nicest of enemies. But there you go. Get back in once it's regenerated, and then you can continue killing it. If it's got its blue shield up like that, you're not going to do any damage, so don't even bother. It's not worth it. And I've just seen James McAvoy get punked on an English program called Balls of Steel, and the dude is such a fucking legend that he just completely accepted it. That was pretty great. And I'm really looking forward to seeing X-Men First Class, because all my friends are giving it massively stellar reviews, and I am a bit of an X-Men fan. I used to watch the cartoon as a kid, pretty feverishly, and the films themselves weren't completely bad. It's like the first one was great. The second one I thought was a little bit just cashed in. The third one everybody hates, but I liked it a lot just because they had the balls to kill off characters people know and love. But once you've killed the robot and you've killed the dude up there, if you carry on down the road to my right, it will effectively end the level, and you are 2 levels away from getting your 100G and beating this game on Insane. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope it was, you know, not too dull to watch, because this level is pretty brown, but I hope it helped if you're challenged by it, and thanks for watching. You take care now.